Hey eBay sellers, it's Suzanne A. Wells. Thank you for coming back for another video. I wanted to give you a what to sell item today simply because this is very easily recognizable. It holds its value on eBay, and this theme and artwork is on all kinds of different things. So you may see it in ceramics, coffee mugs, fabric, just all kind of different things. So it is called Laurel Burch, not to be confused with Tory Burch. This is something completely different. So I wanted to give you the backstory because I enjoy knowing the backstory about people, and it just gives you an appreciation for their artwork and um, you know the the legacy they've left behind. So I will read this to you in case you are listening and not able to read because you're driving, you're on the treadmill, you're jogging, whatever you might be doing. About Laurel Burch. The number of moving stories about the giving, receiving, and sharing of Laurel Burch art are a reflection not only of the woman herself, but of all the collectors who are drawn by her spirit as well as her designs. Many of them know and have been deeply touched by her life story. Her early years. At the age of 14, Laurel Burch left her tumultuous home life in Southern California with nothing more than a paper bag of clothing and the rare bone disease osteoporosis that she was born with. Cooking, cleaning, and babysitting for her room and board, she embarked on a search for some stable ground to support her fragile body. With no job, no money, and no dreams, Laurel Burch reached the Golden Gate of San Francisco. Laurel's search for connectedness was evidenced in the jewelry she began to make for herself and wear, old coins, bones, and beads arranged into earrings and necklaces. Wearing them gave her a sense of belonging, if only to an exotic world of her own making. Fascinated by her adornments, people on the street began to ask where she got them. Her creations became bridges to friendships and patrons. Through trading, selling, and giving them away, these artifacts found their way into the lives of people all across the country, and the phenomenon of collecting Laurel Burch began. Whoops. Laurel was a self taught painter. She saw herself as a folk artist telling stories. In our fast paced, changing world, she said, we need symbols that are a reminder of the ongoing world of the spirit. On some level, her work was always about bringing different cultures together and about our connection with the earth and all living things, ideas that have only increased in relevance today. Laurel was always incredibly prolific, even during her long periods of convalescence when she was forced to paint from a bed or a wheelchair. She seldom put her brushes down. Laurel said, I refuse to have anything in my life that I can't turn around into something magical and beautiful. I just refuse. Her art will forever convey a sense of joy and passion and lightness. There is an inner strength in her figures with their bold lines and sinuous curves, and something irrepressible in the explosion of her colors. The universe of her imagination was fertile, burgeoning and uplifting, egalitarian, a place where every flower and dragonfly was transformed into something magical and beautiful. Laurel performed hundreds of speaking engagements around the country. For obvious reasons, the subject of healing was always close to her heart. Being physically vulnerable is, in a lot of ways, a tremendous advantage in terms of human wisdom. My bone disease was my gift, she said. Laurel always lent her talents to a long list of charitable causes, designing book covers, posters, and murals around the issues that were of special concern to her. On September 13, 2007, Laurel passed away due to complications from the bone disease osteoporosis. She will be greatly missed, but her spirit will continue to brighten our world. So that is a just very fascinating story about why she did this art and how this, was alongside her the whole time during her illness. So let's go look at what it is. Okay, if we go to, whoops, there's an offer expired. If we go to eBay and put in Laurel Burch, and I'm going to look at actives first, there are almost 12,000 items with the keywords Laurel Burch that are active. And I've got these sorted by highest to lowest. So obviously the signed art is going to be the most expensive, the highest valued items, and you're probably not going to find that. Let's see what else. I wanted to sort this by country just to narrow it down a little bit. Okay, so let's go to jewelry and watches because this artwork is very easily identifiable. And so, for example, let's look at these earrings. There are, very bold colors, black. She often uses animals and plants in her designs, so they're easy to spot if you're looking at the jewelry counter at Goodwill or wherever. You can, recognize these because there's a lot of cats and other animals. And I'm going to show you. There's one specifically about cats that she does. So there's some earrings. Those are rainbow cats. Some pretty birds, pastel birds. Very pretty stuff that is easily, it almost looks like cloisonne, but it's not. Horses. And we can just look through the jewelry. There's some more cats. So her cats they're called, I think, Fantastic Felines. That's the line that of the cats. We'll see that in a minute. So you can just see there's a very specific style and a lot of color, a lot of dark, heavy lines, and colorful animals and plants. And like the lotus flower, she did that a lot just because that's the symbol of, of life and that kind of thing. Very pretty stuff. Okay, so if we go back to look at all items and go to, let's just put in mugs because there are a lot of coffee mugs. And obviously, like with anything else, if you have the whole set, it's going to be worth more. But like you can see here, this is vintage 1988 stuff. You've got the black with the very colorful pink and purples and just a very distinct style so that when you're looking at all the coffee mugs at the thrift store, this will jump out at you. Just like you know to look for Starbucks, you know to look for the Kleben cats. There's a link to that above if you don't know what I'm talking about there. Or the NG mugs that are the animal orgy mugs. That's another one to learn. Um, so that's what I like to focus on are items that are easy to identify. So you don't have to look up every single thing in front of you. You learn to look for these things that jump out at you that are colorful and bold and worth money. So here's another one with cats. And so since she passed away in 2007, that's 10 years ago, obviously no more of these are being made, so they're going to increase in value because there will be no more added to the supply. The supply will just keep getting smaller. So those are what the mugs look like. Another thing to look for are the ceramic plates. Oops. And that's the reason I'm doing this video is I found one yesterday and it reminded me to share this information. It's fabulous felines, not fantastic felines. I stand corrected. So, I mean, just look how beautiful those are. They're very interesting, whimsical, fun, colorful, and that would be really easy to identify on a shelf of a bunch of plates at a thrift store. Now you know to look for these. So that's another thing to do. And also, we've got bags, like a tote bag, handbag. She does all kinds of designs, and just like Vera Bradley, there's all different designs. So if you learn one thing from this video, it's the cats because she did a lot of cats. So they have this very distinct look there. And there's travel bags, there's handbags, tote bags, book bags. Another one that she did was the blue cats. I think it's called indigo cats. Let me just look that one up real quick. Yeah, this is a very popular theme with these indigo cats, and they're just so cute. They're just, if you're a cat person, which I am, I'm an animal person, I just think they're so cute. They just have such a calming, adorable look to them. Now, she did a lot of these hand painted canvas. So that may be something in the framed art section that, would jump out at you. And needlepoint hand painted canvas where you can go back and do needlepoint over it, or I don't know why you would, but this in and of itself, it's just hand painted on the needlepoint canvas, so that's the art itself. So we have the indigo cats, and I just want to show you the fabulous felines, because it's on everything. We've got, enlarge this here, we've got the plates, we've got jewelry. Here's a pendant, more plates. Here is a quilt. The fabric, there's a lot of fabric with this design on it. So here is, some fabric, more plates. I just think if I found that, I would have to keep it because it's just so cute. And I don't keep things. I, I read about you guys that find something and you just have to keep it, and that's not me. Once I find out what it's worth, I sell it, but this would be the exception. So more of the fabulous felines there. So that is one of her popular designs. So let's go look at completeds to see what these things sell for. Let's look at the sold listings. And this is everything. Oh, let me take out fabulous felines so we can look at all of her stuff. And we've got it sorted from highest to lowest. So there are just about 5,000 items sold, and we saw about 11,000 listed. So pretty good sell through on that. So here's some jewelry that was sold in a lot. Here's one pin that sold for $275. Obviously, this is collectible. This one says it's rare, but it's called Standing Strong. Oh, it's earrings and a pin set, but it sold for $275. So jewelry is a niche I need to learn more about. I get so overwhelmed when I look in that jewelry counter. I just don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for, but definitely a lot of money there if you can learn that niche. So here's some more jewelry. Here is a quilt that's a quilt kit. So this is the fabric that's sold for $150. So if you're not looking at fabric remnants or the linen and fabric or craft section, that's something to learn because there's lots of goodies in there that could make you some money. Okay, here we've got some earrings. You see this a lot, this type of cat that's got its back arched up. It's like round. See how cute that is? That would be so easy to identify, even if you didn't know what this stuff was. That just looks unusual, and that's how you're going to make money on eBay, is being able to identify something unusual. Even all the way down to the whiskers. They're like this funky bent wire. That just looks neat. And this sold for $129, and it's called the Flowering Feline Cat Sculpture. Okay, so let's look at some other things that sold. Here's a collection of plates that sold for $99. Some earrings went for $124.99. Here's some more fabric that went for $122.50. More fabric, a watch. This would be very easy to identify in that sea of jewelry. Went for $106.50. More earrings. Here's the indigo cats, hand painted canvas. I guess you don't do anything with that. I guess it's just the art as it is. It's just on the medium of needlepoint canvas rather than being on regular canvas or paper or whatever. So that went for $106.13. We've got more earrings. Here's another needlepoint canvas, the lotus earrings, a bag that went for $99. And here we get into more of the plates with the cats. And this is a painted cabinet with that theme on there. This is another sculpture that went for $80. That is really cute. Dogs and butterflies, hand painted needlepoint canvas. Went for $80. So when you're looking through the stuff to hang on the wall or the uh, sewing stuff, you may see this in there because the thrift store workers may not know what to do with it. Who is it? Barbara calls one of my YouTube subscribers. Barbara says it's the bin called the we don't know bin or the we don't know what this is bin. And it's just the thrift store has no clue. They just throw it in there because they don't know what it's worth and they don't have time to stop and look everything up. So sometimes things are in the wrong place. And this is a cute pin or brooch, went for $80. So if you're at an estate sale and you're looking through all this jewelry and you see these funky cats, that might be something to stop and look up. And let's just look. Oh, here's that cabinet again. Oh, it's just the doors. It's not the whole cabinet. No, it is. It's a mini cabinet. So that's cool. And fabric and earrings again. Some plates. So you get the idea. So again, the name is Laurel Burch. She was an artist and did a lot with nature, animals, used a lot of black, heavy lines, bright colors, whimsical folk art style that is easy to identify. Real quick before I let you go, I want to remind you of my trip to Florida coming up. December 11th through 17th, I will be making this loop around Florida, stopping at several locations. I've already got another one added. So real quick, here's the schedule. If you just want to pause the video and read through this, I've added a stop in Kissimmee on December the 12th. It's going to be an evening event, just like the lunch and learn, but it's going to be in the evening. So I'll put the links to all that below if you have any questions. If you want me to stop in your area along this route and we can work that out, I'm glad to do that for either a small group or private consultation. We can definitely work that out. So I'm really looking forward to meeting all you folks in Florida. Thanks for watching and have a great day on eBay. Bye.